folks, as the leaves change colors all around North America. My name is Darren Sutton, and this is Perfect Game Weekly presented by Rawlings. We certainly think this time of year about football on college campuses and NFL stadiums around the country, but you better think about baseball for sure. Think about postseason baseball. Think about fall college baseball because it's in full bloom. And then on the real amateur side, an amazing event in Jupiter, Florida, the spring training home of the Marlins and the Cardinals. It's Perfect Game's Worldwide Bat Association World Championship, or as it is affectionately known in the baseball world, just simply Jupiter. Well, we'll have a preview of Jupiter on this show, looking ahead by looking back. We'll also look back at one of the great catchers who has come through Perfect Game ranks in the last couple of years, Harry Ford, the number one player in the Mariners organization as it pertains to prospects. A wonderful conversation. We'll have a hitting lesson from a couple of top players, one named Mitchell, one named Miller, both really high draft prospects in 2023. One's right, one's left. How I do what I do. We call them HIDWID in this world. That's on this show. But we start this show with Perfect Game Cares announcing the 2022 Perfect Game Hall of Fame class. And it's deep with 17 members. The inaugural class going in last year with names like Fielder, who attended the great event, and Mike Trout, along with founder Jerry Ford. This year, though, Pete Alonso, a couple of times he's won that home run derby. He played at Jupiter twice as well. Mookie Betts played his travel baseball for the Doolin Dodgers. Oh, that smile of Freddie Freeman. Way back when, he went from Southern California to Jupiter as a Perfect Game All-American. Manny Machado joins that group. He goes in as a Hall of Famer, a PG Hall of Famer. He did not earn a chance to play in Perfect Game's All-American Classic, but he remembers how much he dominated at 2009 Perfect Game National. Garrett Cole is a Yankee, and he is feared. He was a Perfect Game All-American. He went to Orange Lutheran. DJ LeMahieu 3 times has won a Gold Glove. He also was a PG All-American. Nolan Arenado, we know him with his 5-time Platinum Gold Glove winning fielding, but he was out of El Toro High School and played at Jupiter a couple of times. Chris Bryant, Perfect Game Hall of Famer now. He opted to go on to college. USD, young man out of prep school in Las Vegas, was a Perfect Game All-American. There's a Rookie of the Year. There's an MVP on that resume. Madison Bumgarner, he's a 3-time World Series champion. Carlos Correa, he made his journey from Puerto Rico up to Florida a bunch. He was a PG All-American. This is the 15th American League Rookie of the Year. We saw Correa at showcases. We saw him at great tournaments. Now a PG Hall of Famer. And congratulations to Gary Baldwin, known as one of the true pioneers of travel baseball. You see, he founded the East Cobb baseball program, now with so many college and MLB alumni. Now, you'll want to be at this great event with a ton of Major League alumni. We hope some active players as well. November 17th and 18th in Orlando, Florida at Rosen Shingle Creek. The Hall of Fame Gala Dinner, November 17th in the evening. The golf event, PG Cares for the Kids, November 18th also at Rosen Shingle Creek. For more information, visit perfectgamecares.org/HOF. perfectgamecares.org/HOF. When we come back, a unique conversation with Harry Ford, the Seattle Mariners' number one prospect, a Perfect Game All-American MVP, and a man who very recently helped Great Britain earn their first ever berth in the World Baseball Classic. This is Perfect Game Weekly, and we're presented by Rawlings. We welcome you back to Perfect Game Weekly. We're presented by Rawlings, and I have my favorite guests on this show, and I let you know right away who they are. There's really a little bit of bias at times, and it's an athlete like this that joins us now. He was a Perfect Game All-American. He was a man who crushed it in the classroom. He was on his way to Georgia Tech, but then the Seattle Mariners changed that, making him a first-round pick in 2021. We spend time with Harry Ford, the number one prospect in the Mariners organization, talented catcher out of Georgia, now back home. He was in Germany. We'll get to that. Harry, thanks for spending time with us.
Of course, yeah. I'm glad to be here. It's awesome.
When you and I connected, I never thought we'd be talking about baseball in Germany, but there you were. You were representing Great Britain. You had an amazing time homering 3 times. 3 of your 4 hits at one point were homers in the WBC qualifier, the World Baseball Classic qualifier. Your team has moved on. Great Britain has moved on. My goodness, what was that experience like?
I mean, it was just unbelievable from start to finish. I think every game, every moment, I was just questioning if it was real, honestly. Like it was just such an honor being able to play for a country, something bigger than me. Especially, I never thought I'd get to be wearing Great Britain colors, honestly, and it was just amazing for me, my dad, my mom, both of them being from Great Britain. It felt really, really important. My mom stayed there till she was about like 16, 18, around my age probably. My dad actually moved back there this year. He after I got drafted, he's lived there for a year now. And we obviously, all of us knew that, you know, we had never won the whole thing before or made it to the WBC. So the whole time we were playing passionately. It was great.
For you, this ends what was kind of a great calendar year. You maybe had a 5-second slow start, but then bursted onto the scene this season playing in Modesto, California. As you look back, look, you and I were talking about it. You caught almost 500 innings. You got on base at a 425 clip. As you look back upon this year, what did you learn? Where did you grow? And what were some of the high points?
I say I definitely learned a lot about just having, like, how to be a professional and, like, just kind of like how the whole business works, you know, sort of. But once I kind of figured out like what the deal is, like what I need to do to be good and play like I do, it was just up from there. Honestly, like figuring out what it takes to actually be a catcher, like being vocal with guys, understanding a pitcher's strength, the pitcher's weaknesses, and how I can bring the best out of them, and what I need to do to just help a pitcher be at the absolute best. And really not even just a pitcher, the whole team, you know. And because, you know, back when we're playing for like Perfect Game or like the All-American stuff, it's all just about, you know, like how are my rankings going to be the best, you know, how are we going to get seen the best. But, you know, when it's a different point of view and just like you're really a team and you're there for 130, 140 games throughout a whole year, there's so much to learn about catching and just being like the leader of the team, I would say.
What are you reading right now? No one consumes books, or at least wants to consume books more than you. What are you reading?
I'll show you. I'll show you. I got one over here. I just finished this big old thing. I actually finished it on the plane yesterday. 48 Laws of Power.
Okay.
It's a big old thing, man.
Give me a quick review. What are we reading? Give me a quick review.
It's basically like there's basically 48 different laws in it, and it tells you about kind of like how to kind of take advantage of your mind and what little things can help you elevate yourself and just be your best self and kind of like get power, not in like a mean way or like taking over stuff or no, but just be the best self and bring your best self out and learning the world and learning how people work, basically. Because, you know, me being 19 going out there, it was like, I mean, nothing I ever expected, you know. Like, I feel like a lot of times I felt like I was lost and like I didn't know what to do, and like I just felt like a lost boy in a new world and everything. But this book helped teach me a lot about how to, you know, be more of a man and just be an adult, really, and take over things in my life. So very good read if anyone on here is a reader. It's great.
Good recommendation, Harry Ford. It is always a pleasure to reconnect with you. Congratulations on the WBC qualifying home runs for Great Britain, on the year you're having and your continued growth in this sport, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Darren. I appreciate it, my man.
I can't wait to see what the future holds for him. You know, we were speaking of the event in Jupiter, Florida, the Worldwood Bat Association World Championship, and it was just a couple of years ago in 2020 that Ford went to that event for an East Cobb team and had a 500 on-base percentage. Now look where he's headed. When we come back, we'll take a look at Jupiter. We'll take a peek at what's coming up by taking a look back as well. This is Perfect Game Weekly. We're presented by Rawlings. This is the only show devoted to amateur baseball. This is Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings.
Left-handed stroke, a lot of whip, a lot of natural loft to it.
Ever since I started baseball, I've been working hard to reach my goal, and that is one day to get drafted and to make it to the MLB.
A two-seam changeup with me throwing a two-seam fastball.
We're in Jupiter for the Worldwood Bat National Championship.
1, 2, 3, pass.
We all like to have fun. We all go play hard. And we all go play for something.
We welcome you back to Perfect Game Weekly, presented each week by Rawlings. When you think about fall baseball, you think about a quiet time, a lot of practices and such on college campuses. That's not the case in Jupiter, Florida. For about 2.5 decades, Perfect Game's World Wood Bat Association World Championship, or Jupiter as it is called, has been literally a baseball convention. Every team sends up to dozens of scouts. Every team is represented. Golf carts for each and every scout. They are everywhere at the spring training home of the Marlins and the Cardinals, and its history is ever so rich. Nearly 6,000 players drafted. More than 1,100 have gone on to the big leagues. Let me name drop just a little bit. Garrett Cole threw 97 at the event in 07. Mike Trout stopped by in 08. Francisco Lindor was the MVP in 2010. On that FTB team that he played upon, Javi Baez was a teammate. The late Jose Fernandez was a teammate. Jesse Winker was a teammate as well. And last year, I had a chance to stop in Jupiter, Florida, and there are so many great conversations to be had, and have that very conversation with Jason Jones. He, at that time, was the number 5 player in the country. Here's a look back at Jason Jones with a walk and talk from Jupiter. Perfect Game All-American, Jason Jones. I'm going to start where I always like to start with you. What's the latest with your parents? Tell me what they're up to. Tim and Kim, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me what's going on with Tim and Kim.
Oh, man, they're just helping me achieve my dreams. Day in, day out, getting me whatever I want, making sure my grades are right, keeping me straight in the classroom, and pushing me to where I can ultimately reach my goals. And they've been doing that ever since I was a little kid, so they're actually more harder on me now than they ever have been. So, I mean, I love them for that.
I'm not going to let you just throw out the words goals and dreams without telling me what your goals and dreams are. It's one thing to say what you just said, but be specific. What are your goals and dreams?
I would say my biggest dream ever since I was 3 years old is I want to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I was raised by one of those. You know that, right? I was raised by a Hall of Famer.
Right.
So what do you think it takes to get there?
Man, loving the game is the number one piece. Preparation is key, I would say, is that when you're prepared, your confidence. And confidence also is another one that those guys had stepping on and off the field. And like I said, play the game like it was whenever you were a kid.
Right.
Just love the game every single day like you're playing Little League ball. I feel like Ken Griffey, I've always noticed him, is he loved the game, the kid, man. He absolutely loved the game, and I noticed that with all the other guys too, is that they just played out there to have fun, man. Just had fun.
So as Jason the boy becomes Jason the man,
yes, sir.
What part of your game has changed the most and improved the most?
I would say my mental game. I would say that I'm starting to pay more attention into that, more attention to detail, because I never realized how important it was. It's a grind, man. This summer was a long summer. I had a lot of games, traveling everywhere, a few weeks home, maybe a week or two home. So it's like having that mental strength as to where your body is tired and you can't go anymore, but if you're mentally strong, you can get that extra edge and still be able to play at your full potential.
What's this year going to be like for you? A lot of phone calls,
right?
A lot of visits, a lot of pressure. How are you going to handle all that?
I mean, I feel like my dad, he's put a lot of pressure on me ever since I was a little kid. Like, always
the
held
good
me
kind,
to
right?
Great kind. Always held me to a higher standard than, always had high expectations for me. So I feel like there won't be any much of a difference. I'm just gonna go out there and play the game like I'm a kid again. Just going out there having fun day in, day out. Get to play with all these great people, great guys. Get to meet guys like my boy Darren.
Don't put me on that list. I'm too old, man.
Great
Too
guys.
old and not influential. That's my game. But the people, that's interesting
Right,
to talk about
right.
the people. the diversity of the people that you meet, whether it be younger or older teammates, whether it be young, talented players from the suburbs, African-American players. Do you enjoy the diversity of this game?
I feel like that's the best thing about this game is to meet new people from different backgrounds and build up relationships with them to where they'll last you a lifetime.
It's unique. For you to come across like this, that confident, that polished, that 4.0 GPA.
Yes, sir.
You mentioning your prayer time and the values to manage in your life.
Yes, sir.
You've got to understand that you are unique, you are uncommon. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So expound upon that.
Like I said, I don't want to let myself get too high or too low. Like, know that I'm just like everybody else. I'm just out here just living life. And fortunately enough, I've been blessed enough to play the game that I love. So hopefully I can play that game for a long time. Ultimately, man, like I said, everybody is the same exact person. Nobody's higher than anybody else. We're all in this life.
Again, Tim and Kim, man. Let's end it right there.
Right.
Kudos to them.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, pal.
Thank you so much.
Boy, attitude is everything when looking back and chatting with Jones. And his attitude was one that stopped him on night one of the draft, and he withdrew, focusing on his education and a journey to Arkansas, where a guy like Caden Wallace, who has gone on to pro ball and with the Kansas City Royals, Jones hopes to step right into his shoes right away on campus at Arkansas. Great conversation with Jason Jones. And by the way, we'll have more conversations, more feature coverage on this show, and live events, 2 games a day from the 6th through the 10th. And of course, Monday, October the 10th, will be the championship game from Jupiter, Florida, the Worldwood Bat Association World Championship on Perfect Game TV. When we come back, a couple of the best players in the country, one right-handed, one left-handed, both will be rostered to play in Jupiter. They give us a hitting lesson. It's how I do, what I do, or as I like to call it, I'm the only one that likes to call it, HIDWID. This is Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rawlings. We welcome you back to Perfect Game Weekly, and we're presented by Rawlings. What a summer it's been for a couple of very talented hitters. Blake Mitchell, a young man, a catcher out of Texas who plays his travel ball for Texas 12, the number 6 player in the country, and Aidan Miller, who can play really anywhere on the field, middle infield, play in the outfield as well, the number 7 player in the country who plays for the top-tier Roos. Both recently adorned with gold medals at the U18 World Cup. They represented USA and did so in style. As a matter of fact, Miller had a 1,600 OPS, and Mitchell did both. He had a triple, he had a homer, he also struck out 6 in 3+ innings and picked up a save. And earlier this summer at Perfect Game's National Showcase, we caught up with both. It's a hitting lesson. It's how I do what I do. HIDWID, as we like to call it. All right, let's start on this side, okay? Show me, but then tell me, what are the keys to your swing, belt to your shoes?
I like to get my hips through the zone. You know, I like to think like this movement right here. I think that's really important to get as much power as you can out of your body. And something I do off the tee to help that is I'll start off the tee, I'll do a walkthrough drill. So it's pretty much just a step forward, go, and swing. It just kind of gets all the whole body moving, all the hips going.
Yeah, when I'm in the box, I always go front foot on this corner of the plate right here. And my back foot's slightly open just to keep like more weight on my backside because I don't want to get here and then push this way. So I just try to sit in my backside as long as possible and then just rotate off this. Sometimes I have a problem when I kick out this way. So I have to like try to keep everything right through the pitcher. So I have to think back foot and back knee right through the pitcher, straight up the middle.
Is there a timing mechanism on that lead foot? Anything at all?
Like whenever the pitcher, he's starting his motion and I see his throwing hand going down, then I'm going back.
What happens with your hands from the start to the finish?
I think when I have my best success is my hands just getting to the zone, you know, getting through the ball. I think if your hands are if they kind of stay back here, it causes it to be late. But I kind of think just catch the ball out in front here, try to get the barrel out in front of the plate, and that's when I have my most success.
Yeah, same thing with Aidan, you know, I just try to catch the ball out in front. But when I'm here, I just try to be as loose as possible. Like not grip the bat tight at all, just loose, smooth, because smooth is quick. You know, you can't be tight and muscled up. You have to stay smooth, always inside half the ball, inside the ball.
Let's talk about the physical head.
Yeah, I think your head has to be still the whole way through. You know, if your head's moving all over the place, you're gonna have bad results, and if your head's still the whole way through, you can see the ball the best, and that's when you have your best results.
Yeah, my head's always as still as possible, but when I'm here, I try to open it as much as possible so I can see the pitcher, like the best view, to get both eyes on the ball instead of some guys are here and they're like cutting their eyes. Just relax my eyes and get them straight to the pitcher, and then from there, it's just try to keep it as still as possible.
You guys want to play location a little bit? I know what I'm throwing you. This is a changeup, and I know you see a lot of those from righties.
Yeah, once I recognize changeup, and I'm already here, so I'm like, okay, changeup's coming, and then I can just try to stay through it this way as much as possible. Like, I'm not worried about trying to hit it out of the stadium or anything. I'm just trying to hit a line drive in between short and third. So when I'm here, and then it's just trying to stay through it that way as much as possible.
Then this for you, fastball for a strike.
Yeah, so this is obviously a really tough pitch to get to as right-handed hitter, you know, especially if it's moving inside. But, you know, inside fastball, you have to get the hands out there, catch it out in front, or, you know, you got firewood.
Oh, nice. You got firewood.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We just learned from two of the best hitters in the country, folks.
And don't forget, if you want to see those two do what they do and so many others as far as talented athletes are concerned, it's Jupiter, Florida. It's Perfect Game's World Wood Bat Association World Championship, October 6th to the 10th. We'll have 2 live games per day on Perfect Game TV. We want to congratulate the brand new PG Hall of Famers and thank Harry Ford for joining us, and remind all of you, if this is something you're into, amateur diamond sports, and you're watching us on your regional sports network, we can be here all the time. Grab your smart device and download our app, perfectgame.tv, 24/7. Amateur baseball, amateur softball, right here. We'll see you soon. We'll see you at Jupiter and a ballpark near you. My name's Darren, and you've been watching Perfect Game Weekly, presented by Rollins.